State, and obviously the 5 inductees that will be put into the Hall of Fame tonight. You know, I got here in April, and I've been here 8 months, and the amount of golf that we've played this year at such a high level has been astounding. Not just from our state champions that we will recognize here shortly, not just our players of the year, the incredible year that they had throughout, but on a national level, the state of Mississippi had quite the year in 2019. It all began with Old Waverly hosting the women's U.S. Women's Amateur, the most prestigious women's event in the world. We then go into the U.S. Amateur. Obviously, we had Cohen Trolio and Andy Ogletree making the semifinals of that event, with Andy going on and winning the championship. We had some success in Canada. Hayden Buckley won on the Mackenzie Tour in Canada, his first professional win. And also Joe Deraney was a back-to-back champion in Canadian Mid-Amateur as well. Also, Joe had some success in the U.S. Mid-Amateur, placing his runner-up finish in that event. So from a USGA standpoint, what a tremendous year we had. But outside, let's go outside of national and on a global platform. Andy Ogletree was part of our U.S. Walker Cup team, and he represented the United States with that victory. And then we had Allie McDonald representing the United States on the Solheim Cup. So I say all that to say it was an extremely important year for Mississippi and golf. I want to thank each of those players for what they've done for junior golf. We're in a sport that is dictated by the success of those that we look up to. I think the easy one to mention is Tiger Woods and what he's done to push the needle. I'm thankful for those individuals and what they've done in golf for our state, because now our juniors have somebody to look up to that's from their own backyard. So I hope that continues. I know it will continue. The amount of good players we have in our junior golf programs is mind-blowing. The instructors, our PGA professionals that we have throughout the state are doing an excellent job in cultivating that and making sure that junior golf in Mississippi is on the right track and where it needs to be. So tonight, again, I thank you for being here. We've got a great night planned, but we wanted to start it off with showing a quick video highlighting the 2019 season and all that we've accomplished. Thank you so much. Once again, good evening and welcome to the Mississippi Golf Association Celebration of Golf event, along with our Hall of Fame induction. I'm Darrell Palmer. I guess when you get asked back to do something for a second time, it means you didn't mess it up too bad the first time. So I want to thank Ben, I want to thank Carter, I want to thank Emily for asking me to come back again. Look forward to tonight's awards. I want to introduce first for you the past champions. As we run through this list, I'm going to ask you to hold your applause to get through the end of it. Just stand up where you are as I call your name out. State mixed team, Allen and Lou Hart. Men's senior four ball remain standing as well. Senior Robert Sanford, David Allen. Super senior Alex Weddington, Earl Aycock. Grandmaster Don Coleman and Ronnie Cowser. Women's four ball, Lou Hart, Pam Posey. Men's four ball, Brett Parker, Josh Lampley. Women's mid-amateur, Shannon Adams. Men's mid-am, Eddie Brescher. Father-son championship, Ed Wall and David Wall. Father-daughter championship, David Sinclair, Grace Sinclair. Women's senior amateur, senior Sheila Haynes. Grand lady, Frida Sanford, Sissy Kern, co-champions. Men's senior amateur, senior Robert Sanford. Super senior, Eddie Brown. Grandmasters, Walter Rogers. Junior amateur, boys, Cameron Guidry. Girls, Riley Mayhew. Women's amateur, Blair Stockett. And the men's stay-down, Joe Delaney. Look around the room, give all these people a big round of applause. Thank you and congratulations. Junior golf is a key thing in all of golf. All of us grew up in junior programs at some point, and probably one of the greatest guys that contributors to junior golf in the history of Mississippi, Robbie Webb, and to present the Robbie Webb Award tonight, please welcome Robert Pamela. Robert.
present the Robbie Webb Award. Mr. Webb was Mississippi Golf, and if you have any age, you'll know that. He taught people to play golf with the likes of Joe Ayuk, Lee Brandon, Ricky Sims, Sam Gunning, Benji Nelson, and there's many, many more. In 1979, I was a freshman at Hill State playing golf, and I became great friends with one of my teammates named John McIntyre. He was from Canada. Well, back in those days, a lot of college football games were in Jackson, and we went to all of them. Well, every time we went, he would say, "We got to go see Mr. Webb." So we'd have to go to either Deerfield or Canton or wherever he was at to visit Mr. Webb. So I'm telling you all of this to tell you about winning the Robbie Webb Award. The award is for people that love the game of golf, and they give back to junior golfers. Award winners understand that junior golf is the lifeblood of our sport. Award winners have a passion for golf, and tonight we are awarding Greg Brooking. So you talk about a passion for golf. Greg Brooking's got a passion for golf. He works in the golf business. He loves to play golf. He loves to meet other golfers. He loves to practice golf. As a matter of fact, one year we were playing at the cup matches at Old Waverly. And I was paired with Bill Byrne, and we had dusted off our boys early. So we went out to watch. And we pull up on number 17 at Old Waverly, and Brooking is shanked it almost out of bounds. It's par 3. He's on the other side of the cart path. He's barely in bounds. And so I told Bill, I said, "Well, he's lost his hole." He said, "Oh, no. He said he practiced chipping 4 hours a day." So he chips it up there to about 2 feet. So I'm thinking, boys, you young guys in this crowd, if you like golf, you're thinking about getting into the golf business, superintendent, lots of free time, okay? Anyway, Greg has given back to golf. He's from Natchez, Mississippi. He has a junior golf tournament that he puts on every year and does a great job, works very hard at it. So folks, help me welcome the newest Robbie Webb Award winner, Greg Brooking.
First thing I'd like to do is introduce my dad over there. He's the one that introduced me to golf when I was 13 years old. And all the fantastic things about it. Dad's almost 20 years old. Then there goes another little band right there. And Dad, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for introducing me to golf and teaching me all the wonderful things you had to offer. Yeah, thank you. I'd also like to thank the parents out there. Every time I see my juniors come up and I see the parents driving them up there, I think, wow, children, y'all understand that without these people driving y'all over here to our clinics and to all these tournaments that you couldn't be here, you couldn't enjoy this game. And so, to all the parents out there, and every parent, all your children should look at it and say, "Thanks, Mom and Dad." And I'd just like to give all the parents out there a big hand. And I want to let y'all know that y'all's parents are helping y'all get where y'all are going. They're going to help y'all do that. I'd also like to thank the people that allowed me to put on these clinics and these tournaments at Duncan Park and Natchez. They donate their time and their money to perpetuate junior golf in the state of Mississippi. These are the children and nephews of Mr. Norman Puckett. He was a jolly old man that played golf at our municipal course all the time. He was really like the kids. The daughters are Norma Puckett Jones. Thank you, Norma. Carol Ann Puckett Bush. Thank you, Carol. Patsy Puckett Mayaya. Thank you. J.H. Tommy Timms, his nephew, and Parker Youngton, his nephew. And we have two special donors that have helped us out with the tournament, Mr. Clark Pitts and Mr. Bill Burns at Burns Oil Company. So those people were really integral in making what I do possible. Without their help, it wouldn't be possible. I also would like to thank the people that help teach and administer these tournaments. And past winner, Mr. Tommy Snell, he helps me administer the tournament every year, which I appreciate a lot. PGA Pro, Mr. Jimmy Hedricks, helps me with my junior clinic. Mr. Pete Powell, he's our 11-time city champion. He comes out for the kids every clinic. Mr. Tom Bryan, an excellent golfer from Natchez, and Mr. John Magoo and Mr. Charlie Calloway have both helped in our clinics. So those are some of the people I wanted to thank. I wanted to leave out with this, and it's happened to, you never know that what you're doing will have an impact. But if it's good and if it's true, and you do it with love, and you just keep on doing it, it says you never know that people will see it. So thank y'all.
All right, let's meet those junior golfers. Junior golfers of the year. As I call your name out, make your way down to the front, starting to my left, your right, and line up as I read out your year, basically. Our boys overall champion, also the boys division, A division, 16 to 18-year-old champion, Cohen Trolio. The 2019 PGA Junior Qualifier second place, the 2019 U.S. Amateur semifinalist, Mississippi Junior Am second place, the PGA Junior Championship tied for 41st place, the PGA Junior Qualifier second place, U.S. Amateur semifinalist, Mississippi Junior Amateur second place, and the PGA Junior Championship tied for 41st. If you come out here in front of the stage. You'll be practicing your speech. Girls overall, Caitlin Altice, also the division 13 division leader. The 2018 Randy Watkins third place, 2019 Future Tour Championship winner, PGA Junior Qualifier sixth place, Mississippi Women's Stay Down 9th place, Sunny Andrews winner, the Mississippi Junior Amateur 7th place. Also the 2018 Randy Watkins division winner, we mentioned that, the 2019 Future Tour Championship division winner, Junior Qualifier 5th place, Sunny Andrews division winner, and Mississippi Junior Amateur 3rd place. Congratulations, Caitlin Altice. Girls A division, 16 to 18-year-old, Kayla Starr. 2018 Randy Watkins 3rd place, Mississippi Junior Amateur 2nd place, and the Norman Puckett division winner. Congratulations, Kayla Starr. Boys B division, ages 14 to 15, Connor G. 2018 Randy Watkins division winner, 2019 Future Tour Championship tied for 10th place, State Games 4th place, Greenwood Junior Invite division winner, Mississippi State Am made cut tied for 49th place, Sunny Andrews Junior Champ division winner, the Mississippi Junior Amateur 2nd place, and the 2019 Norman Puckett winner and division winner, Connor G. Boys C division, age 12 to 13, Grayson Davis. 2018 Randy Watkins 3rd place, Future Tour Championship tied for 2nd place, State Games 2nd place, Greenwood Junior Invitational 3rd place, PGA Junior Qualifier 2nd place, Sunny Andrews Junior Champ 4th place, Mississippi Junior Amateur 7th place, and the Norman Puckett Junior 2nd place. This might be never busy getting into tournaments all summer. Congratulations. Girls D division, 10 and 12-year-old, Harper Hinckley. 2018 Randy Watkins 2nd place, Future Tour Championship 3rd place, Greenwood Junior Invitational Division winner, PGA Junior Qualifier Division winner, Sonny Andrews Division winner, and Mississippi Junior Amateur second place. Congratulations, Harper. Boys D Division, 10 to 11-year-old, Jake Jackson Knight. 2018, Randy Watkins, 4th place. 2019, Futures Tour Championship tied for 7th place. Greenwood Junior Invitational Division winner, and the 2019 Mississippi Junior Amateur Division winner. Congratulations, Jackson. Boys E Division, 9 and under, George Decker. Future Tour Championship, 2nd place. State Games, 3rd place. Greenwood Junior Invitational, 2nd place. Sonny Andrews, Junior Championship Division winner. Mississippi Junior Amateur Division winner, and qualified for the 2019 U.S. Kids World Championship. Congratulations, George. And the girls E Division, 9 and under, Hart Hines. Future Tour Championship Division winner, the 2019 Mississippi Junior Amateur Division winner. Congratulations, Hart. Now we get to hear from each of them. I'm going to come down here with a microphone, walk it down. Cohen, you got your speech ready? All right, let's go.
Well, first I would like to thank NGA for giving this award. It's an honor. I've been lucky to be around a lot of good players. I mean, the list goes on and on. Alan Mikado, Matt Bass, Jonathan Randolph, Randy Watkins, Jim Gallagher, on and on and on. I've learned from them. I've learned a lot from them, and I just want to thank everybody for supporting us because we need it. I appreciate it.
Caitlin Altis.
First and foremost, I would thank God, my Lord and Savior. Second of all, my loving and supporting family. My biggest fan and all-time coach, my dad. My sister, Karsten, for always making me golf. She pushes me. My awesome team of coaches. MJGA for hosting a great summer full of fun tournaments. And lastly, the huge support from my home course, Diamond Head Country Club.
Congratulations. Kayla Starr.
Well, I would like to thank MGA for this award, and I'd like to thank my dad for introducing me to golf. And last, I'd like to thank my swing coach, Rob Noel.
Now Connor G.
First off, I'd like to thank God for blessing me with the opportunity to play golf in this wonderful game. And then second, to MGA for all the amazing tournaments they put on, for everybody that helps. And then thirdly, definitely my parents for always driving me around all the tournaments. It means a lot. And for my dad always playing with me. And then just for the competitors I compete against, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, that's it.
Grayson Davis.
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my golf coach, Thomas Watkins, and Randy Watkins for supporting me through MJGA.
Harper Hinckley.
I would like to thank my parents and my grandparents for bringing me to all the tournaments, and my swing coach, Chad Darby, and my dad, and for getting me to where I am, and my sister for pushing me.
Jackson Knight.
I would like to start by thanking the MJGA for their support in junior golf. I really enjoyed the junior program and the River Cup. I would also like to thank my mom and my dad. I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for them. Lastly, I would like to thank my little brother Cameron for pushing me to get better. Although he's up 100 yards in front of me,
When you get to the senior, he's to the junior, you get to see a Georgia Decker.
I'm so happy to get this award. I want to thank my parents and grandparents for all their support.
And last but certainly not least, Hart Hines.
I want to thank my parents and my grandparents and my coaches.
Congratulations, all. Give them a round of applause. So congratulations again, great year. Now I want to recognize our MGA Players of the Year. It's something different than microphone. We give them a chance to come up and line up here across the front as I call you out. We're not going to give them a chance to talk to the word. We just wanted to hear from the kids, not the adults. First up, Player of the Year for 2019, the Mississippi Golf Association, Joseph Duraney. 2019 Old Waverly Invitational tied for second, the Tupelo Amateur Champion, the Mississippi State Amateur Champion, Greenwood Invitational Champion, Gulf States PGA Trustmark third place, Grenada Invitational tied for 10th, the USGA Mid-Am runner-up, and the Canadian Mid-Am Champion. Congratulations, great year, Joe. Senior Player of the Year, David Sellers. 2018 Ryan Cup Senior Division Champion, the 2018 Coast Open Senior Division tied for 5th, Old Waverly Invitational Senior Division tied for 7th, Bill Cass Senior 4-ball 4th place, Tupelo Amateur Senior Division tied for 3rd, 2019 Mid-Am tied for 2nd Senior, Mississippi State Am Low Senior, Greenwood Invitational 6th Senior, Gulf States PGA Trustmark 3rd Senior, Bank Plus Oxford Invitational Senior Division 4th place, Greenville Invitational Senior Division Champion, and the Mississippi Senior Amateur 10th place. Congratulations, David. Super Senior Player of the Year, Robert Willis. Bill Cass, Senior 4-ball, tied for 2nd Super Senior Division, Tupelo Amateur 6th place Super Senior Division, Mississippi Mid-Am 12th Super Senior, Mississippi State Amateur Low Super Senior, Greenwood Invitational tied for 6th Super Senior, Gulf States PGA Trustmark Super Senior Division 4th place, Grenada Invitational Low Super Senior, Bank Plus Oxford Invitational Super Senior Division 3rd place, Greenville Invitational Super Senior Division 2nd place, and the Mississippi Senior Amateur Super Division 4th place. Congratulations, Robert. Women's Player of the Year, Shannon Adams. The 2019 Mississippi Women's Mid-Am Champion, Mississippi Women's State Amateur 13th place, and the Mississippi Women's State 4-ball 2nd place. Congratulations, Shannon. The Women's Senior Player of the Year, Sheila Haynes. Mississippi Women's Mid-Am 2nd place Senior, Mississippi Women's State Am 2nd place Senior, Mississippi Women's State 4-ball 2nd place Senior, and Mississippi Women's Senior Amateur Champion. Congratulations, Sheila. But she wasn't done. Also the Super Senior Player of the Year, Women's Mid-Am Low Super Senior, Women's State Am Low Super Senior, Women's State 4-ball 2nd Super Senior, and the Women's Super Senior Amateur Champion. Congratulations, great year, Sheila. Another big round of applause for all of our MGA Players of the Year. Congratulations. Now for probably the most fun part of the night, and the really greatest part of the night. I'm glad the MGA started this last year with the Hall of Fame, our 2nd annual Hall of Fame is to meet these Hall of Fame inductees tonight. The representatives will come up one by one and introduce them. Our first one up will be presented by Randy Watkins, inductee Pete Brown. Randy?
How cool is this night, really? I wish y'all would take a second and just look at the 5 names on this list tonight and look at the history that these folks made that paved the way for the rest of us. It may be the coolest class in any state's golf Hall of Fame. Pete Brown, I met when I was a youngster, and I didn't see him again until I qualified for the tour. And by virtue of all the caddies back in that day were African American, and they were all from Jackson. And Pete grew up caddying with them and became a player with them. And all of them were good players. Johnny and Eddie will tell you the same thing. They were all fine players. But Pete grew up in Port Gibson, Mississippi as a son of a sharecropper, picking cotton and picking peas. Moved to Jackson when he was 10 years old, looking for work, and stumbled on work at the municipal golf course in downtown Jackson, of which we always grew up knowing as Sunny Guy. Now it's called the Pete Brown Golf Course, right? We so no offense to Sunny Guy. He made 55 cents in 36 holes of caddying in a day. And would have gone more, if he could have gone more than 36 holes, he would have kept going. He loved golf that much. He wasn't allowed to play on the golf course in which he caddied. They wouldn't even let him come play. They would sneak out at dark sometimes and go play. He and his brother found a left-handed 3-wood in somebody's garage, which they stole. And then they found a right-handed 5-iron in a pond that some guy had thrown in the lake, and that's what they used to play golf with. But he couldn't find a place to play. He wanted to play the game. No one would let him play. You got to go back. Time goes by really fast now. Today's world is really, really fast-paced. If you go back, if we all step back to 1955 and be an African-American that wanted in this game in the deep south of Mississippi, what a bunch of courage it took for him to do that. So his buddies found out there was a course in New Orleans that would allow African-Americans to play for $3 per player. At midnight, they would load up the car, 4 of them, and drive from Port Gibson through Highway 51 to New Orleans. And as Pete would tell me later, we didn't need to run out of gas. The town we're going through, 3 or 4 of us going through these towns in the middle of the night wouldn't have been a good thing. But they wanted to be the first ones at the golf course to play because they wanted to play all day long. And so every day, every Monday, they drove to New Orleans. And they would play till dark. They'd be the first group off and the last one off at the end of the day. That's how much he loved the game. He kept pursuing the game, and then he got polio, non-paralytic pull-up polio, in 1956. He told me that he couldn't walk, he couldn't swallow, he just couldn't breathe. The doctors told him at best he'd be in a wheelchair the rest of his life. He was out of golf for a year, really bedridden for a year. And he said, through the grace of God, that just me being old, tough Mississippi boy from Port Gibson, I just got through it. But I dreamed, it's what got me through it, was dreaming to play golf. So he would lay in the bed, he'd play round after round and shot after shot. He would just play golf, and that's what got him through the polio. And then when he got up, he went after it. And he aimed high. He wanted to play well, he wanted to get on the tour. And he met Charlie Sifford, who was the first African American to be on the PGA Tour. And they became friends, and that helped Pete feel comfortable that he could do it. That he was one of them. And then Pete became the first African American to ever win on the PGA Tour. He's from Port Gibson, Mississippi. His widow, Margaret, who was 86 and still sharp as a tack. I said, tell me about that win in his first win on the tour. It was called the Waco Turner Open, which Johnny Pop's familiar with, and I know Mr. Marions is familiar with. So I just assumed, like everybody would assume, it's in Waco, Texas. Well, that's not true. It was in Burneyville, Oklahoma, and there was a man named Waco Turner. Sponsored the tournament. And he rode around in a Cadillac with wads of cash, handing it out to the players. Loved it. Go from hole to hole in his Cadillac and get a good shot, he'd give you $100 or $20. Hands full of cash. He said the greatest tournament he ever played in his life. Margaret's in California was $6, and Pete's in Oklahoma getting all this money thrown at him. And she doesn't, you know, back in, there wasn't cell phones, back in those days, they didn't communicate. He called her that night he won. And he beat a fellow by the name of Dan Sykes. There's only a few people in this room will remember Dan Sykes was a heck of a player. I mean, a great player. And he called home and he said, honey, I won $2,700. And she said, my Lord, we make it. How fast can you get from the Waco Turner Open to California out with these girls? We got 6 of them. And that pushed him forward and it got him in things. It got him comfortable playing and it allowed him to feel the confidence to go play. And he went on to win again. And he won again at the Andy Williams San Diego Open, which is still played here in a couple of weeks. And he beat a guy named Tony Jacklin in a sudden death playoff, the great British Ryder Cup star, one of the all-time great players on the tour, beat him in the playoff, and that was in February 1970. And Pete said that was obviously the highlight of his life, was to be able to beat somebody that he looked up to. And you got to remember that Pete was a guy that couldn't go in the clubhouse. Many times he'd get to a tournament, he had to change shoes in the parking lot. Everybody else come and go as he pleased. He could charge and sit outside and change clothes. It's amazing the hurdles people can go over if you dream hard enough. You got the skill and the will, and you dream hard enough and don't give up on your dream, you can achieve anything. Pete Brown was the master. When I was a rookie, a struggling rookie on the PGA Tour, the Buick Open was in Detroit at Warwick Hills, where Pete lived not far from there. And he called and came over and hooked me up with a practice round with Calvin Pete, who at that time, in 1984, was winning nearly every week. He was a great player. I didn't know Calvin Pete. I knew who he was, but I was scared of him. He was supposed to be. He played. So Pete hooked me up with Calvin to play a practice round. Pete walked 9 holes with us and went to dinner with us that night and helped me try to teach me how to be a pro. Pete Brown was a professional. He was a good man, never bitter, never sorry, never apologized for anything, never hold a grudge against anybody. And Pete Brown wasn't no little guy. Pete Brown wouldn't be messed with. He was a big man. Back then he was 6'1", about 210, as strong as an ox. But as the more I talked to Margaret, the more I asked her about their journey together. With 6 girls, they lost 2 girls to cancer. They still have 4 living, and they couldn't make it this week, and I'm sorry for that, but they'll be back this summer. Golf was their life, and Pete was on the road, and it's her job to raise their girls. They stayed married for 50 some odd years. I don't know how many years it was. She said, I don't even remember, but all of them were good. But you'd have to know Margaret to hear her say that, as sweet as she was. But when I think about Pete, I think about a trailblazer. I looked up the word trailblazer today. Not many people are first. If you're first in anything, there can be no one else do it again like you did it. Pete was the first to win. Came from Mississippi, came from our roots, came from our people. Went out there and did knock down the walls. A trailblazer is a pioneer. Somebody who's willing to take risks and go on a path that's not already there. That is not easy to do. They blaze a trail and leave a path for others, for me, for y'all, for everybody. They blaze that trail. Pete Brown is one of those guys. He has the personal qualities of strength, courage, resilience that cause him to be relentless in their pursuits, and he embraced and he learned from his failures. Pete Brown was a stud of a golfer, but he was also a great guy. You'd never hear anything but good things. My time with Johnny Potts, someone on the phone yesterday, someone today loved him. Eddie Marin's loved Johnny Potts, loved Pete Brown. You couldn't help it. He was a gracious, humble person with unbelievable skill. If you'd ever seen his hands, you know how good a player he was. He had great, big old, strong, rock hard hands, but the touch of a surgeon. He was a great player. We're late recognizing Pete. And I get a little aggravated on the tour that they don't recognize Pete as the first African American to won the PGA Tour. They should say it every week. They mention it on occasion. No offense to Charlie Sippett, who was the first to get there. So he was a pioneer himself. But Pete's the first one that knocked that ball down. So we can win, we can compete, we can be one of you, we can be with you, we are one of you. And Pete was, he was their brother. He was a great dad. And I'm honored to present this on Pete's behalf. I count him as a good friend, a mentor, a guy that took time out of his life to help me and to guide me and support me. And he was one of the guys I looked up to when I was trying to play. So thank you for allowing me to do this tonight. We should all honor. When I talked to Margaret yesterday, I said, Margaret, I'm going to accept this for on your behalf for Pete. I said, what would Pete say right now? She said he would smile down and he would say, I love you all and amen to you.
Next inductee is Mary Mills, be presented by Carter Page. Carter.
What an absolute honor it is to stand up here and induct Mary Mills into the Mississippi Golf Hall of Fame. I know it's cliche to say, and I know life is full of the cliche sayings, but it truly is come full circle for me in presenting this to Mary. 20 years ago, when I was 16 years old, living in Nashville, growing up playing junior golf, there was a 9-hole lighted facility in Franklin, Tennessee that I played at every day. One of those courses that you could tee off up until midnight, completely lighted. Well, at this course, they had what was called the College Prep Program. So as a junior, my mom basically used it as daycare service. And I would show up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I would leave sometimes as late as 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And it was where I honed my game. And at this college prep program, there were great instructors there, from Rob Rennell, whose daughter Riley played at Georgia recently, to Virgil Herring, who graduated from Mississippi State's PGM program and is doing big things. So it was a great program to be involved in. So one day we're out on the driving range and we're hitting balls, and Rob brings this lady by and introduces her to everybody, and I got to meet Mary for the first time at 16 years old. You know, a couple of weeks went by and she would show up every day at the driving range, and there would be 15 of us on the driving range hitting our 10,000 golf balls that were required that week to hit. And Mary would walk up and down the driving range, and she would give little critiques, little swing thoughts to all the juniors that were on the driving range, and we thought, this is really nice of her to do this. Well, to our surprise, one of those afternoons, Mary is standing kind of behind all of us as we're hitting golf balls on the range, and Rob is introducing her to one of his other friends, and he says, oh, do you know Mary Mills? She won the Women's U.S. Open. She's also a 3-time major champ on the LPGA Tour, and it was literally like the jukebox skipped on the driving range, that we all stopped hitting golf balls and turned around. I mean, here's a lady that we have been around for 2 weeks straight and had no idea that she was a 3-time major champion on the LPGA Tour. I think that speaks volumes about the lady that Mary Mills was. She built relationships with her heart and not with her accolades. And I think that is a lesson that I definitely took from her. You know, the rest of that summer, I became very good friends with Mary. I think part of that was because one day I was on the driving range and Mary was sitting behind me for about 30 minutes. And she didn't really say anything. And I'm looking for something. Give me a swing thought, give me something to think about. And she looked at me and she said, Carter, do you ever go home? Well, that was the daycare service that I was in. I helped my parents out. And she said, you're here all the time. You put in the work. What's the miss? Well, where are things going wrong on the golf course? In my golfing career, at that point, I was a decent golfer, but I hadn't bust through that winning golf tournaments yet. She was the first person to teach me the mental aspect of this game. And I think everybody in here knows just how important. In fact, it's probably more so important than the physical aspect of this game. She taught me how important it was to be mentally strong, to brush off the double bogey and look at your next shot. And she taught me course management. You know, Mary even went as far as to bring in one of her friends from Florida, who was a sports psychologist, to sit down with the juniors in this program and to give them a taste of what we knew that the professionals would have. And she didn't charge us anything. That's the type of person Mary was. So this is a complete full circle for me. I know when we heard that Mary was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, a lot of people were looking around as to who would be presenting to her tonight. And the executive director that had been here for about 6 months raised his hand and said, well, I've actually known her for 20 years. So what an honor this is for me to stand up here. Somebody that encouraged my love of the game, helped my love of the game grow, and I know did the same thing for the 20 or 30 students that went through that program with me. I would not be standing here today without Mary Mills. And so I thank her so much. She's unable to make it. She's still down in Florida, still going strong. She's a director of golf down there, and unfortunately she wasn't able to make it, but her sister Lizzie and her husband Hank are here to accept on her behalf. But Mary's a wonderful person. It is very much well deserved that she's here. Obviously, I said she's not a person that leads with her accolades, but I think they're worth sharing, and as we can all see on the screen. Mary was a medalist of U.S. Girls and Western Junior. She was an 8-time Mississippi Amateur champion, 2-time Gulf Coast Open champion. She played college golf for Millsaps here in Jackson and was the #1 golfer on the team all 4 years on the men's team. She joined the LPGA in 1962, and she solidified Rookie of the Year her first year. She went on to have 9 career victories on the LPGA Tour, 3 of those majors, the 1963 U.S. Open and the 64 and 73 LPGA Championship. She was top 10 on the money list 5 times, and what an absolute unbelievable career that she had. Now, when she stopped playing professionally, she went back to school. She became a golf course architect, which speaks volumes how much she loves this game. And she's been teaching golf ever since, still to this day down in Florida. So I want to say congratulations to Mary Mills. Your induction into the Mississippi Golf Hall of Fame is more than deserved, and I thank you so much for giving me the passion and love of the game that I have. Congratulations, Mary Mills.
First of all, I'd like to say that I'm sorry that Mary can't be here, #1, because I'm sure she would rather be, as tomorrow is her 80th birthday. I can't imagine a better birthday present than this. Of course, it's hers and not mine. I do have a prepared statement, and Mary, she came to visit us over the Christmas holidays and stayed with us for about a week. And she did ask that we read this and share with you tonight. I would like to thank the Mississippi Golf Association and all involved for this prestigious honor. I also congratulate my fellow peers and their families in this class. Pete Brown, Sam Hall, Eddie Mearings, and Johnny Pott. Wonderful players all, and each were an inspiration in my younger years of golf development. Truly pioneers in Mississippi golf. When I was 14 years old, I participated in the Women's Southern Amateur in Birmingham, Alabama. There, I met Bobby Jones and noted golf writer O.B. Keeler, who each predicted I would become a national champion, offering me the courage and the confidence to win the United States Open several years later. In closing, I wish to also congratulate all the players and champions from 2019 and hope that these future awards and future MGA awards will continue to inspire our youth to compete at a high level, both at home and perhaps the fast-developing world stage. Sincerely, Mary B. Mills.
Next inductee is Sam Hall, will be presented by Donnie Holden.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting because I didn't realize that Randy was going to be speaking, and I thought I'd be the second best looking male here, and then Alan walks in, and then lastly, I thought I was pretty hip, thought I had the good style going, and the super seniors wearing the same coat as me. I'm not sure where to go, but we're gonna try to get through this. And I'm being funny to try to keep from becoming a little too emotional. So, I want to start off with, just absolutely a round of applause for the Mississippi Golf Association. I had the privilege of serving on that board many years. And for those of you who don't know me, I played for Sam from 96 to 2000. BJ Trolley, everybody knows Cohen in the room at this point. So we were on the same team together along with Dennis Snow, Todd Metz. So multiple people are here. But I was a player for Sam and, grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, and then moved to Macomb, Mississippi. And of course, Sam Hall gave me the chance to play college golf. With that being said, on the MGA board, we discussed this so many times. Margot's sitting back there, and the others that were on that board. And I want to stop for just a second and us all give a round of applause to the Mississippi Golf Association and what it has created, and holy cow, 2019. Is overwhelming. The phone call that I received from Ben letting me know that I would be doing this, it wasn't a matter of a yes or no, that was easy. So, the effect on golf that Sam Hall had throughout the state, throughout this nation, and throughout individual lives is absolutely incredible. Let's talk about a few of those things real quick. He was the only athlete in Hattiesburg High history to letter in every sport. To this day. And if somebody can find that to be inaccurate, we'd love to know. but that's pretty impressive. Of course, he played at the University of Southern Mississippi, and he was the #1 player. He won over 300 amateur golf tournaments over 50 years. It's 50 years winning 6 tournaments a year. That's crazy. Okay? The juniors, most of you that are up here, y'all are going to go to the next level, so y'all won't even catch that because you're not going to stay amateur. That is an unbelievable amount. He's a 7-time Mississippi Senior Amateur champion. He competed in the Magnolia Classic. For those youngers, that's the Viking, that's the Sanderson Farms. He competed in that 10 times, and he actually made the cut twice. He was the golf coach at USM from 1969 to 1970, and from 1990 to 2000, which was his greatest span. I'm not partial. And then from there, he's a women's coach from 92 to 97 as well. And his right hand happens to be here tonight that helped him through that and was an assistant coach there. Drove all the way down from Arkansas. Steve Johnson, if you'll stand up. Steve, this is He was president of the Mississippi Golf Association in 1984. The age was great. Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame inductee in 2012, and obviously University of Southern Mississippi Hall of Fame inductee as well. So he now has the trifecta, and he has made it to all of them. So that is a feat in itself. So let's talk about passion. Passion is something that a lot of us have, especially if you're an athlete. It's something that Sam absolutely had in all aspects. He was very passionate about being on time. Okay, that was outside of golf, inside of golf, and everything. He was a stickler for the details, and being on time was very, very important. Little player from Lake Charles one time was a little late to the van. We were literally pulling out of the motor pool, headed to Memphis, Tennessee. That player decided to follow the van all the way until we stopped to get gas. And he pulled over and he jumps out and he says, "My dad is so mad at you." And Sam says, "He ought to be. He ought to teach you how to be on time." And that is a very, very good vision of Sam and, being a stickler for details. And that's just from the golf side, but from a person as well. And if you ever knew him and had the chance to meet him, you would understand that passion was there in the initial conversation. And he would do anything for you if you just asked. One thing that has stuck out is he always talked about golf affects people. Your golf can affect people. It can affect your life. So just a few quick examples. Todd Metz is over to my left right now. Todd came on a golf scholarship, and guess what? He got introduced to his wife while he was at Southern Miss playing golf. That's partially Sam bringing him down here. Another gentleman named Chris Enden, same thing. Came down, met his wife with Sam on the golf team. VJ Trolio, extreme success out of the University of Southern Mississippi, right? The amount of conversations they had one-on-one were a lot of fun. I only know that because VJ's told me some of the stories. And Sam liked to give, relationship advice too. So it was always pretty neat. And when VJ decided to turn pro, he let Allison know she needed to leave him alone for a few years. True story. You can ask him. He gave me some too. I dated a Coyote, and he said didn't think it would be a good idea that I continue to date her because she liked everyone. So he told me. me an answer. So my senior year, we are down in Navarre. It's at our Conference USA Championship, and fortunately for those, we could play 18, 18, 18. We didn't have to play 36 in one day. And we got back, and everybody was kind of tired, and there was enough restaurants close to the hotel. No one really wanted to go anywhere, so me and Sam went to dinner. It was just the two of us. So we're sitting there, and you know, I said, Coach, you said a couple times golf in life, and you know, 21 years old, whatever. I don't know anything. Act like it, but you know, I'm sitting here and I said, what do you mean by the golf in life, and what, you know, give me a little more insight on that. I'm just curious. And he said, well, Donnie, he goes, every athlete out there will tell you that golf is the hardest sport, but every other athlete will also tell you that. But you find another sport that is related to life like golf. In golf, in one round, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, you're going to have challenges, you're going to have decisions. They're going to be good, they're going to be bad. And whichever way you decide to go, there's going to be a result from that. And whenever you hit a bad shot, you have to recover, right? So then he went into some, you know, talking about life and business, and you know, you're going to make some bad decisions, you're going to make some good decisions, but the key is to keep moving forward and to stay steady. So Sam was not only my coach, he was, you know, the 4 years that we're in college, it can't equate to the time we're at home with our parents, but as far as that good quality time, if you really put a calculator to it, those years, we all spent more time with him than we did our own parents. We certainly had to hear him whether we wanted to or not, so we're absorbing all of that to go along with it. So, you know, with that being said, I was sitting there and I said, Coach, I've got a few guys that are going to give me some money to try to go make it. I said, make it where? I said, playing professionally, Coach. He said, well, I just thought you told me that Cintas was already offering you a position straight out of college. I said, I did. He said, we need to take that position. And he was right. So, another great conversation, and it really is. To some that may seem like that's the wrong. No, it's not. That's the right thing. That's what I needed to hear, and it was correct. Right? So everything has worked out and gotten to where we are now because of all those decisions, and he was telling me exactly what I needed to hear. So I want to end with reading a letter, okay, right here. I don't keep very many things, and I can only tell you that I still have this letter because it was meant to be. The places I've moved, I've been in Dallas for the last 9 years now. I've always worked out of home, I've been fortunate, but I don't keep many things, and I happened to find this in my desk, and I just thought that was amazing, so I'm going to read it real quick, and it was August 12, 2012. It says, Dear Donnie, I truly appreciate you coming to my Hall of Fame induction. It was really great seeing you with all of your former teammates. Since you have moved to Texas, I have missed having lunch with you. Thanks for all the great times we had. So, the fact that he took the time to write this, to me, then I'll tell you a lot about Sam Hall. I said I wasn't going to do this. Look at it. Of Sam Hall, we're going to get to see Miss Patton and his granddaughter come up here and receive this award. And on behalf of the Mississippi Golf Association, you guys come on up here and receive this award for Sam Hall.
Thank you, Donnie, for the wonderful introduction of my grandfather. I'm honored to stand up here with my grandmother, Patricia, to receive my grandfather's Hall of Fame induction award. I received a phone call from Robert Panel in late October telling me of my grandfather's acceptance into the Mississippi Golf Hall of Fame. He asked that I keep the good news to myself, but I was so proud and excited for my grandfather, I was bursting at the seams to tell someone. So I called my mom. It is tonight that everyone can celebrate him and some of his greatest accomplishments. More than anything, I wish he could be here to deliver his acceptance speech himself, because I am nowhere near as qualified to deliver the speech as he would be. First, a special thank you to the Mississippi Golf Association for Sam's nomination and election to the Hall of Fame. Another thank you to the Country Club of Jackson for hosting this special night. I would like to extend a sincere gratitude to Sam's former team members, students, colleagues, and companions who played the game of golf with him. Your constant encouragement, advice, teachings, and tournament winnings helped him become the man who he was. Most importantly, my grandmother deserves a thanks as she sacrificed her time as a wife and mother to support my grandfather on his career path that took him around the country. At a lunch with my grandfather over the Thanksgiving holidays, I remember hearing how his heart ached to get back on the golf course. Being devoted to the game of golf was something I could always count on my grandfather to be. Whether he was coaching his students, his son, his friends, or even himself, he was truly devoted to the game of golf. If Sam was here to give this speech, I believe he would talk about how much the game of golf influenced his life. From his competitive golf days to his days of teaching at Southern Miss to the leisure days around the course, 18 holes never impacted someone like it did Sam. He always found a way to be positive after a bad round, and he always found a way to improve after his greatest round of golf. If you believe like I believe, Sam is up in heaven playing his best game with his best buds. The reality of not having my grandfather here anymore is very sad, but his legacy lives on through the many players he coached, the many lives he touched, and his family represented here tonight: Patty, Patricia, John Rogers, Ann Hall, and Mary Rogers. I am so proud of my grandfather and to be here representing him. Thank you and congratulations to the other inductees.
Thank all of you. Thank the Mississippi Golf Association. Sam was so proud to know that he would be inducted this year. And on behalf of him, thank you.
Wow. Our next inductee is Johnny Pott, to be presented by Randy Whitehouse. Randy?
Oh, this was a heck of a class, didn't it? How do you do justice to present somebody into a Hall of Fame that you've looked up to your whole life? It's not easy to do, it's really not. I spent I don't know how many hours over the last couple of weeks trying to figure out what I would say about Johnny Pott beyond what you may or may not know. I'm going to go ahead and tell you some of those things. I'm going to start with his accomplishments. Johnny Pott's from Mississippi, from Gloucester and Brookhaven. His dad was a club pro at Goldfields on the coast for many, many years. He went to LSU where he won the NCAA championship individually. He led his team to a championship. I about had it with the LSU talk for a while. I wore this on purpose. Out of spite for the LSU people. I'm just playing, I'm jealous. Johnny Pott was a great, great player. Got his card early on. He and Mary Rose committed to play, him playing on the tour. Went on to win 5 times in his career on the PGA Tour. Played 3 times on the Ryder Cup One of his team captains was Byron Nelson, the other one was Ben Hogan. That's pretty tough work right there. I asked him, I had the occasion to ask him how it was playing for Mr. Hogan. He said, Mr. Hogan was happy with me, I was 4-0. I said, he didn't like winning. He said he didn't put up with anything but winning. There was a lot of pressure to play well. There wasn't any option but to play well. I think they played that in Houston. But his first victory was the Dallas Open. He won that in a playoff in 1960 against Ted Crow and Bo Winninger. He beat them in a playoff. His second win was the West Palm Beach Open. He won by 3 strokes by some fellow named Sam Snead. Beat him by 3. He won again in 1962 at the Waco Turner Open. Remember Mr. Turner? I told you about him already. He won that by 6 over Mason Rudolph, a fine player himself. He won the American Golf Classic in 1963, which is the forerunner of what's now the Players' Championship, to give you an idea of the scale and the size of that victory. And he beat some guy by 4 strokes named Palmer. I think he says Arnold. Sort of heard of that guy. And then his final victory on the tour was at the Bing Crosby National Pro-Am, where he beat Billy Casper and Bruce Devlin in a playoff. One of the funny stories, I think Johnny led the tournament wire to wire until late on Sunday. He lost the lead, actually birdied 16 and 17 or 15 and 16 to get back to a tie, and tied Billy Casper and Bruce Devlin, and went to the first hole of sudden death. And Johnny missed the green just to the left over by the bunker, and he chipped in to win. And Johnny will probably tell it tonight. There was a few people out there jumping up and down and cheering, but there was a whole bunch of people across the country cheering because they wanted golf off because the Super Bowl was being delayed for the golf. I think he's running that several times in his life. That's a sketch of a 20-year career playing. There came a time when he and Mary Rose decided he wanted to get out of the playing business and raise their children, and he got in the golf course business. And actually, ironically, this week, they're playing, the PGA Tour is playing in Palm Springs on several courses that Johnny built. He built responsible for over 50 golf courses around the country, all of them great courses. As a youngster, of the many people I got to meet in 1977, Bob Travis told me it was time for me to go find somebody else to teach me, because he was tired of messing with me. He didn't really like the children. So he said, there's a man named Johnny Pop down in New Orleans I want you to go see, a good friend of mine. He gave me the whole story. So he hooked it all up. I just have had my driver's license. So I drive to New Orleans, and Johnny had just built Belle Terre, which is in LaPlace, just short of Louisville. Donnie and everybody knows where it is. And the neighborhood was brand new. It was just going, the course was brand new. It was a peak dive course. It was difficult. It was scary sort of. And they had a model home there that they would show for the neighborhood, because they were selling homes, lots, houses, and memberships at the same time, which is where I stayed. And then Mr. Johnny was kind enough to spend a day with me, and I was trying to hit a 1-iron. Back then we were all, brave enough and cool enough thinking we could hit 1-irons. And he said, you know what, you might not have heard of a 5-wood, but you get ready to, because you can't hit it. So he showed me how good a 5-wood would go, and I was pretty impressed with it. So I got me one, but he actually gave me one, which I still have on a Spalding 5-wood that Johnny Pop gave to me in 1977. Fast forward to 1984, my first week on the tour was in California, and at Pebble Beach, and the rotation was still then, it was still Pebble Beach, Spyglass, and Cypress Point. So I got in touch with Mr. Pop. We actually shared a caddy. His caddy, the guy that caddied for him most of the time, was Orlando Scott, who became my caddy. And if you knew how many times I heard him telling me going down the fairway, you're going to have to learn how to play like Johnny Pollard. I'm going to caddy. You get over this wood way too often. We get in between clubs, and he said, you got to hit that Johnny Pop shot. And I said, what does that mean? He said, I said, the 6 or 7 iron. He said, 7 iron, toe it in. I said, what does that mean? He said, turn that toe in like Johnny Pop does. Draw it in that ring. He'll get there. So Scott and I drive to his home, which in Carmel Valley Ranch was a beautiful golf course, which he built in Carmel, California. It was beautiful. We spent a day with Johnny and Miss Mary Rose. And we left there, two of the happiest people in the country. We had a box big as that table full of Carmel Valley Ranch logo golf stuff. Me and Scott traveled the country with that logo. We all remember the landmark oak tree logo. We had it all over us. We thought we was the hottest cats in town. It is an honor and it is a privilege to present to somebody that I've known since I was a young boy that I looked up to my whole life. I get a little bit tired of hearing about Mississippi being last in lots of stuff. We're not last in people. We are not last in quality of people. And on the very top of that list is Mr. Johnny Potter. I congratulate him on being Mississippi Golf.
It's kind of nice to be back in Mississippi, because this is where I started my golfing career. My father then was a golf professional, and he made golf available for me to play. In fact, he arranged my first golf lesson with a guy named Byron Nelson, who he had put some exhibitions together, which they went to Laurel and Hattiesburg and a few places like that. So, but then he gave me the opportunity to play, and I had some luck in high school playing, winning a junior event, which was important, and I was kind of picked to go play golf at LSU. And of course, that reason was because Eddie Marison was down at LSU and took all the Mississippi boys with him. Because Ole Miss wasn't giving a golf scholarship. So we had to do the best we could. But we had good luck at LSU. Eddie's team was really good. He was a couple years ahead of me, but they didn't gel at one time, and we were fortunate enough to win the team championship. Actually, I was medalist. I didn't win the whole thing, but I was medalist for the event. But I had to get golf out of my system. I thought I was a pretty good player, but I needed to keep playing at that time. So I made my attempt to get on the tour, and some Louisiana people by the name of J. Allen Maybear signed me in, and I went on to play, and I had a good luck. My years of playing in the 60s, I was a contender. You know, I made a lot of people famous, but they had to have somebody to beat. But I was in the fields, and I think when I quit really playing at the end of the 60s, I had won 5 tournaments, but I'd finished second 17 times. So, but I really didn't have enough money to do anything because we weren't playing for really any money. So Mary Rose told me one day, said, "Johnny, you know, we got 4 kids here in Biloxi, Mississippi. We were born in Biloxi, we were living in Ocean Springs, and maybe you better go get a job." So a couple of my fellow friends from the tour had begun a company building residential oriented golf communities. I said, "Well, why not do that?" So they said, "Well, we need you to go to Carmel, California." I said, "That's not too bad." And I knew I could get into restaurants there because it wasn't that long ago that I'd won the Crosby, so that was a little good entree to get in. So we moved to California, and after being there, still there, we got involved in building some nice properties, and I've been very fortunate that being where I am, I got to see a lot of folks from Mississippi who would come out because that's a sort of a place to make a trip to. And then I still had my ties on the Mississippi Gulf Coast with my family and Mary Rose's family, the Ketterings, Brother Paul is here tonight with me, so, but I've had a good life in golf. I wish I had been a better player, like we all would like to have been a better player, but I had to make a decision, so, and I played pretty good for a while, but I played every day for 30 years. I figured that out helped. But since when you get into building a golf course, you may be out there for a couple of years and in the mud and the dirt, and you look like you've been duck hunting or something. But anyhow, I think my golf would be better, but as you get older, you might get a little golf amnesia, so be careful with what you expect when you go and play. I'm so honored to be inducted into your Mississippi Golf Hall of Fame. Your inductees are all friends of mine. Pete died. I don't mean Pete died. Pete just passed away, and he is a very famous golf architect, and I'm honored to have been involved with him in like 12 or so courses. But Pete Brown is one of the sweetest people that I knew. Pete, as it was mentioned, came along in a tough time to play, but it got worked out, and he played, and he had physical problems with his back that held him back. So that was tough to deal with. I know I got on an airplane once, and there he was laying in the aisle. I said, Pete, what are you doing? He said, well, I can't sit in the chair. That's what they're going to let me do. But we worked that out. And Sam Hall, I just love Sam Hall. His brother George had just gotten out of being a POW, and it was in Keesler Air Force Base. When we lived in Gulf Hills, somebody knocked on the door, and it was George. And I said, good gosh, he said, well, I've thought about you a lot for the last bunch of years. He said, thinking about golf kind of kept me alive, and I ought to touch you pretty much there. He was down getting medical care and dental care and so forth. And Mary Mills, she's a sweetheart. She would come. We had an opportunity to play together quite a few times at Gulf Hills. So she was on the coast most all of the time when I was there, on our way to events. And then Eddie Mehrens, Eddie Mehrens set the standards for golf in Mississippi. I want you to know that he was the hottest thing going when I was a junior, and we couldn't beat him, so what do we do? We joined him. That's basically what it was. But I'm very grateful to be with you, and I want to thank you, and I'm so proud of what I see about the activity of you golfers and you mothers and fathers for getting those juniors to all the events, because the more they play, the better they're going to get, and it's a great game, and there's no limit to what you can succeed in the game if you want to play. So thank you very much, and again, I'm very honored to be.
And our final inductee, Eddie Mehrens, will be presented by Johnny Lane.
How fun is this? I've been fortunate enough to be on the nominating committee, and when this class came around, it was like, wow. I echo everything Aunt Randy said about how phenomenal this group is. This is all our heroes. This is really a thrill for me. I had the pleasure of working with Mr. Mehrens for 4.5 years. So, like Donnie, I'll probably choke up too, but Eddie's still alive and still one of the more impressive moving forces in the golf world. He and Lisa were family for me and my late wife Angela for 4 years. He changed my life forever and for the better. He was then and remains today the quintessential Southern gentleman, classy, compassionate, humble, courteous. He treated everybody the same way, presidents, and he knew several, and they knew him, CEOs, movie stars, caddies, kids from Mississippi. He treated us all the same. Eddie grew up in Northwood and Meridian, but his impact on the game of golf is truly global. He's a big deal everywhere I've ever been in golf. That's my one card to say I work for the Little Pro. As an amateur, Eddie, as Johnny said, won everything. He picked up the game late, but he won 2 state high school championships, 2 state juniors, 3 state M's, 2 SEC championships, won the Western Amateur, finished second and third in consecutive years in NCAA, won a dozen other big amateur tournaments outside the state, all by the age of 22. After graduating from LSU, he spent 2 years as a lieutenant in the Air Force during the Korean War, and then turned pro. And back in those days, as Johnny will tell you, most of the playing pros had to supplement their tournament life by working or teaching. Eddie taught at Marion in Philadelphia and at Westchester, New York, and was building quite a reputation in addition to playing the tour. And at the ripe old age of 30, he was offered the head professional job at Bel Air Country Club in Los Angeles. Over the next 50 years, the Little Pro excelled at every possible facet of being a golf professional. He won literally every single award a PGA professional can win, and every award an instructor can win. Through his tenure at Bel Air, throughout his tenure, Bel Air was ranked among the top golf clubs in the country. They hosted the U.S. Amateur in 1976. Eddie chaired the Golf Digest teaching panel for over 20 years. He taught dozens of tour players and hundreds of serious amateurs. He coached the UCLA golf team from 1975 to 1989, won an NCAA championship. He had 2 National Player of the Year recipients and 16 All-Americans in his 15 years. He wrote 3 books, including the bestseller Swing the Handle, Not the Clubhead. He's now the PGA Golf Hall of Fame, the World Golf Teachers Hall of Fame, the NCAA Coaching Hall of Fame, the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame, and in fact tonight will be his 18th Hall of Fame induction. I think it's only appropriate, Little Pro, you got all 18 holes in your career. Eddie is forever promoting the game of golf. He started the Friends of Golf out in UCLA. It just celebrated its 40th year, raising tens of millions of dollars to promote golf and award scholarships across the country. Eddie started the Ben Hogan Award for the top male collegiate golfer. He started the Dinah Shore Award for the top female collegiate golfer. He started the World Golf Championship, and he's started countless other programs designed to encourage golf. Anyone who's ever been to Bel Air, and I put a bunch of y'all out there, everybody's ever been to Bel Air remembers the Little Pro in his navy blazer and his Bel Air tie and his Kangol cap. That was his uniform for 365 days for 50 years. Those of us from Mississippi that got a chance to visit Bel Air were treated as royalty. Eddie truly loved having his friends from home get to meet some of his Bel Air friends like Sean Connery and Jerry West and Al Michaels and Jim Nance and the countless others. Eddie still to this day, embraces the timeless tradition of handwriting letters. In fact, he'll tell you his most prized possessions in his office, really it's a shrine at Bel Air, are his letters from Ben Hogan and from Bobby Jones. I host a dinner every year for some of the young tour players during our Southern Farms Championship, and the group this year included Braden Thornberry, who won the NCAA, and Maverick McNeely, who was number 1 ranked amateur player of the year before and won the Ben Hogan Award. And somehow the topic of Eddie and his letter writing came up, and Maverick, if you don't know Maverick McNeely, he's a great kid. He's going to be a big winner on the tour. Anyway, Maverick put it really perfectly. He said, all of us know that a win isn't a big deal unless it's validated by a letter from the Little Pro. And I can verify that because Northwood's own Andy Ogletree got a letter from the Little Pro after his USM victory. Eddie truly loves the game of golf. If anybody loves the golf more than I do, it's probably the Little Pro. He continues to be an active part of it. Today he's helping push a film about the legendary Marion Hollis, arguably the most influential female in golf. And I would argue that with the passing of Arnold Palmer several years ago, that the Little Pros now holds the mantle of the greatest living ambassador of golf. And it is my great privilege to introduce my former boss and great friend and role model, Eddie Marriage.
Thank you so much, Johnny, and all of you. Little Pro is happy to be back home. Back home is Mississippi, from whence I came, and I'll never forget that. I have a thing or two I'd like to say. The Mississippi Golf Association Hall of Fame, the year 2020. I'm very, very proud to be associated with you. I want to thank you, Carter Page. You do a heck of a job for this organization. And you saw tonight all the work that goes into this program, these tournaments they run. It takes a multitude of people and things and money to do, and people are underpaid in doing it, but they get the job done. So God bless you, Carter, and all the people who are working with you. My congratulations to Mary, to Pete, to Sam, and to Johnny. I've known you all for a long, long, long time, and I hope to know you for a lot more years. Let's hope that works out. The two fellows that I met tonight, I've had, maybe through the years, my 58 years at Bel Air, I've had 100 or more people working for me. But you saw two people tonight in the form of Johnny Lang and Ken Jones, who work for me, who are members of your club. In fact, Johnny's president of your club. They couldn't be better individuals to have worked and served for me. But all the while, Mississippi was their love. Ken was actually the best man in Jerry West's wedding in Los Angeles. Basketball West, his name was. And Johnny Lang was friendly to a man named Schockenman, a member at Bel Air. They still do business together. At least he's doing business with Schockenman's son. But those two people will carry, wherever they go and whatever they do, they're very impressive indeed in whatever they do. So thank you for knowing me. The U.S. Amateur winner, Andy Ogletree, that's a monumental feat, winning that U.S. Amateur. He goes to Georgia Tech, but he's from a little town 30 miles from Meridian, Mississippi, where I'm from. But he is your U.S. Amateur champion. Believe you me, that's a title that's hard to come by. So he's indicative of what you're producing with your golf program here in Jackson and in the state of Mississippi. The NCAA golf tournament 2 years ago was won by Brandon Thornberry. That too is as good as you can get. You recognize how many college players there are in the world? Thousands of college players. He's the NCAA champion. He's now out on the tour doing his thing, but he has a love bred right here in Jackson, Mississippi, in the state of Mississippi. Bill Bryant, I thought maybe he might be here tonight, from Old Waverly. He owns the Old Waverly Club where they played a lot of national championships. Matter of fact, when they did the Women's National at Old Waverly, it was the first ever national championship played in the state of Mississippi. And Bill Bryant is still working today to produce more championships for his golf club.
Annandale Club here in Jackson and the Country Club of Jackson, Mississippi are hosts for the tour event that's played here now, the Anderson Farms tour event. You can be very, very proud of that. And all those tour players who come here to play love this town of yours, the town of Jackson. And they love the golf course and they love the treatment they get at this club. So to produce that tournament requires some real doing, and you all do it very, very well. Bill Pomeroy is here tonight. He's the ex-professional at Northwood Country Club in Meridian, Mississippi, where you all honored. Oh, and by the way, I saw some guys with these caps on tonight. Well, I brought mine too. Now I don't feel so naked. I feel like I'm dressed in Bill Pomeroy is here, but he's also got Kyle Carpenter with him tonight, who is the newly appointed golf pro at Northwood. Bill moved up to the manager's position. He's the general manager at Northwood. And I'd like to say for G.P. Sonny Montgomery, who for 20-something years was a congressman from the state of Mississippi. He was a friend to me, and he helped to raise me when I was growing up as a boy. I remember when I qualified to play in the National Junior. Didn't have a lot of money, but he'd go out and beat the drums and raise the money to send me off to those tournaments. Sonny Montgomery, I'll never forget. And my son, Michael, who's with me tonight, was a page in the House of Representatives because of Sonny Montgomery once upon a time. So bless his soul wherever he may be. And Governor Haley Barbour. I played in a tournament at Bill Bryant's course about 7 years ago, that was sponsored by Bryant, but honoring Haley Barbour and honoring Archie Manning. They were the headliners, but they invited me to attend the tournament and participate. What a great, great, great place that is, and what a governor you had here in Haley Barbour. What a fantastic man he is. I wish you were able to help run things today. I do. I want to thank the golf pros in Mississippi and other places who helped me with my own golf game. Pros by the name of John Overmeyer, who was pro at Northwood when I began to play the game of golf. And his assistant, Earl Kidd. Also the great Johnny Revolta, who used to be at Johnny Potts Club down in Gulf Hills, the Dude Ranch down there. Johnny Revolta was one of America's great teachers. I took a couple of lessons from Johnny, and also took a couple of lessons from Nelson Giddens, who was your pro at the Jackson Country Club, the Country Club of Jackson, years gone by. They were great teachers and wonderful human beings. And B.J. Trolio, whose son is here tonight collecting one of your awards, and then went to the semifinal of the U.S. Amateur, the young Trolio. But B.J. has become one of the leading instructors in America today. And congratulations to you on everything that you do. You're represented normally by Ken Lindsay, who was president of the PGA of America. Not here tonight. I was looking forward to seeing him, but he had other things to do. And I also want to commend James Ray Carpenter from Hattiesburg, who was also the president of the PGA of America. And James Ray has gone to meet his maker, but he's probably giving him a golf lesson or two up there. And I had a wonderful time tonight running into some people I've known for a long time. Lamar Lowe, for one, who went to LSU with me. In In fact, we won a tournament once together as partners in Alexandria, Louisiana, the International Floorball, they call it. Saw Lamar tonight. I haven't seen him in years, but he was a heck of a guy and a heck of a player. It was great to see you tonight, if you're still here, Lamar. Hunter George Weddington, golf player. He won the Mississippi Amateur at least 3 times, probably more than that. He won the Senior Amateur. He won God knows how many tournaments. But he's represented here tonight by his son and daughter, Alex and Lou Weddington. So thank you for being here, complimenting your father, who helped to raise me as a boy in Meridian, Mississippi. And from my family, blessings for all from Lisa, Michael, Mason, Randy, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren. And Michael, who's with me tonight, he's taking care of me and getting me back and forth and keeping me out of trouble. Michael has a great sense of humor that comes into play most of the time. But a little story about him. A few years back, I trusted him with my American Express card. I thought surely he'd handle it expertly. Well, he did. He certainly did. But I got the bill shortly thereafter, and I looked on that American Express bill, and there's a bill on there for a pair of shoes. And I called Michael. I said, I didn't authorize you getting any shoes. So, did you know a Dr. Martin? There's a bill on there for a pair of Doc Martin shoes. And he said, Dad, Doc Martin is the name of an English-made shoe. It's one of the great shoes made in the world. You should know better, he tells me.
You're wearing them tonight.
And I haven't tonight. And they sure hurt my feet. I'd like to tell you in closing, I'd like to thank you all for everything you've given me. Some of you don't know what you've given me, but you've given me opportunity beyond anybody's grasp. So thank you very much, and continue to pursue this game of golf, because it's good for everybody. You won't injure your head because of the helmets or whatever playing golf. You might get hit by a golf ball, but you're not going to be hit by a linebacker. So keep up your good work, and thanks for inviting me, and thanks for inducting me.
Pretty awesome, isn't it? How about a big round of applause for all 5 of our inductees? Couple of things, junior golfers, don't forget to come up here and pick up your bags. For Hall of Fame inductees, we have boxes for your plaques. If you'd like to get a box, we have those up here under the table. Make sure you get those before you leave. You know, FootJoy makes a really good golf shoe. The DryJoys, though, I don't think can handle this rain we've been getting. You might need to go down to Bass Pro, get you some cross boots. Get out and play some golf. Make sure you learn the new handicap system. Post all of your scores. Right, Carter? Right, post all of your scores. Thanks for coming out tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you back again next year. That's it for tonight. Good night, everybody.
Well, shit. I thought it'd be 12.